Joining me now is a man who's done one or two things in his life, I guess you could say. Jonathan Gilliam, FBI Special Agent, Navy SEAL, Federal Air Marshal, author of the book Sheep No More. Jonathan, let's begin at the beginning with Afghanistan. We've covered what happened 1,000 different times. Let's just set that aside for a moment and address where we are right now. Where is the country right now?
Right now, as we speak, and I just got through watching the news there for a few minutes before I came on here. The point that we're at now is we're lost, completely lost there. The Taliban now really has the ability to hold Americans hostage. We know that there's Americans still in there. We know that that's a bargaining chip that they didn't have a month ago. Now they have that bargaining chip. They didn't even have that chip really a couple of weeks ago. Now the Biden administration have given them that bargaining chip. That's why I believe that the Obama administration is not in a hurry to get Americans out. I mean, that's the only thing from an investigative standpoint that I can make any sense of. It doesn't quite make sense to me why we would have left without ensuring all those Americans were out of there and in the way things have turned out now. But here's the interesting thing. It appears in a press release today that the Biden administration, really the same thing, that the Biden administration is insisting on this and making it the priority that the Taliban be inclusive and allow women into their political leadership. And they're not really even talking about the fact that people from the Bowe Bergdahl exchange, known murderous terrorists, are now leading the Taliban. They didn't even mention that in the press release. That's where we're at.
Bowe Bergdahl, I talked about him a little earlier in the show. Please, Jonathan, elaborate. Who exactly is this warrior we gave up 4 terrorist leaders for? 5, actually.
He's a fruitcake. Yeah, he's a fruitcake. And I talked to the guys from his platoon many times. I'm still friends with a couple of them, and they knew. I don't know if you remember back in the days when Saturday Night Live was good, and they did a skit on Buckwheat and kept saying that Buckwheat killed the president, and Eddie Murphy was playing Buckwheat, and when interviewed everybody that was from his hometown, they said, "Do you think he killed the president?" He said, "Yeah." Everybody knew he was going to kill the president. That's all he ever talked about, and that's what it was like when I sat down with Bowe Bergdahl's platoon. They already knew he was going to desert. That's all he ever talked about was the Afghanistan people and wanting to get to know them. And it was not a comedy skit, but it really did resemble that in the way that everybody knew that this guy was an activist, that he had problems, and that when they heard the alarm go off that somebody was missing, they went straight to where he was at or supposed to be, and all his gear had been collected, folded, and nicely put there, and he was gone.
Okay, and why? I mean, I hate to backtrack, but I did it a little earlier tonight. Why exactly would Barack Obama give up scumbags for this scumbag?
I think part of it is this weird ideology, this leftist ideology that's been around since the early 1800s, started here in the United States before it went to Europe, that these weirdos think that they can make the world a peaceful place by having dialogue and doing good things for bad people. And then I also think that the people at the top of the Democrat Party and some of the people that are at the top of the Republican Party are steeped in criminality, and they were looking for things, whether it be the poppy trade, whether it be lithium, because if you noticed, everything that they did to prop up the Taliban and eventually give the country back has led to a greater relationship with China and that lithium. And the people that did this from our political government are people who are known to have contacts with China. So none of this is conspiracy theory, by the way. You can look at this. You can see the relationships there. That's why it was no surprise to me when Joe Biden handled this as poorly as he did, that it worked out in China's favor. And I think in the long run, what you saw back then is actually coming to fruition now.
Hey, thanks so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. You heard me. Like it, subscribe, You'll get a lot more of it and a lot more of me.